Hey guys, you all right?
Very good, thank you.
I'm very good, Richard.
Dunk's back.
I like to turn up every once in a while.
Yeah, it's nice to see you, mate.
Yes,
I know
excellent.
you've been suffering from the dreaded man flu, haven't you?
There's a lot going around at the moment, but all I can say is I was in Royal Buckley Brass Band rehearsal the other night, and you weren't.
Anyway, swiftly moving on. You got something special for us tonight, Steve, haven't you?
Yes, an interview with somebody a bit different.
Yeah. Who could it be?
The one and only Dr. Brett Baker.
Brilliant.
Incredible. Yeah.
So we're going to dial into him in a minute, and then quiz him.
Yes,
I would
indeed.
imagine, and see what he's got to say.
Yeah, see what he's up to. He seems to be up to many, many things at the moment, and lots going on. So I thought we'd try and grab him and see what he's up to.
Yep, indeed.
Hi, Brett. Hello.
Hello.
How are we doing?
Very good, thank you.
Great. Thanks very much for this evening. Really kind of you to spend the time with us.
Not a problem at all. Sorry, it's typical, isn't it? Somebody rang me with a delicate matter just as I was about to come on this call. So
Well, that's...
You need to tell us, Brett, what the delicate matter is.
No. You can keep that. So I've got Richard with us and Doug as well, who are my other two compatriots with the Brass Monkeys.
Yes.
And it was really, I suppose it was leading on from all, adverts out there and things of, what you're doing at the minute with obviously playing your new venture after moving house with your, the studio. And obviously your new CD. So it was just a chance maybe to talk through a few questions like we have done with other people. It was as much as anything to let you sell yourself, honestly.
Oh well, that's brilliant. That's great. And I've got some questions down here as well that I can sort of answer as we go along. But to give you a bit of background, I've lived up in Cheshire for best part of 30 years, having moved up there when I was in my early 20s, and then came back for a little bit. But then the last 25 years or so, I've lived in the Northwich area, and that's given me an opportunity. I've taught at some schools up there, and then I've taught at a university. And my father owns some land in Gloucestershire anyway, and my sort of whole family have been farmers over the years. So we've got some pockets of land through Gloucestershire, and my parents have sort of gifted that to the three kids, and we've had that for a number of years now. And I thought, well, I should start trying to do something with it. So I managed to buy a house that backs onto the land that's there, and I've been sort of over the last 8 years trying to get that into a reasonable shape, and was able to then move back over the summer. So I've been in about best part of a month really, and so the garage is converted, and that's an excellent practice room and office, and the studio. It's got all my music in. It's got it's all soundproofed, and people still hear it apparently, but it's only really the sheep that complain. It's not close by to anybody, which is good news. So that's working fine. And then in the summer, I'd planned a year ago to do another CD with Flowers, because they're just such a great band to work with. And they're on the crest of a wave anyway, Flowers. They've just been going from strength to strength over the last couple of years. They were keen to do another project. And I said, well, how far can we go in terms of pushing the boundaries and doing some new pieces? And they were up for whatever I wanted to do. So I managed to sort of do a CD of pieces that are tributes to people that influenced me or inspired me when I was younger. And so the likes of Christian Lindbergh, there's one of his pieces on there, Don Lusher, Rob Whiffin, a lot of the trombone players that I've either admired or come into contact with, and also some of my teachers. So whether that be the likes of my mentor Howard Snell, or whether it be David King, but they've got tribute pieces on the CD as well. So I'm very pleased with how that's come out, and Flowers sound really, really good on it.
Yeah, I was listening to it yesterday actually on World of Brass on Wobplay. I really enjoyed it, and as you say, with flowers as well, it was really, really nicely accompanied everything as well. Band sounded fantastic behind you. But I was saying on our podcast that went out today, earlier today, was they're just a nice size for Christmas presents, aren't they? CDs, they're easy, as Tommy Rees always used to say, they're easy to wrap up, aren't they? Makes it a lovely Christmas present. So anybody out there, it's a cracking CD.
So what's it called? Right, what's the...
It's called the Heroic Trombone.
Oh God, Doug's just fallen off his seat. The trombone player here.
Yeah, it does sound good to me, Brett. I'll definitely be ordering one of those.
We'll never hear the last of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's and so one of the pieces is called Heroic Etude, and I thought, well, that's sort of a good title, the Heroic Trombone, because there's a piece by Ray Steadman Allen on there. Most of them were trombone players that have written for other people or written for themselves, and so that was the sort of theme, was trying to bring all that together and feature it on an album.
Yeah, and it certainly works well. I haven't listened to it. As I say, I had a couple of quiet hours, so I was able to listen to it all, and I really enjoyed it. So I suppose what we usually do is ask people about their early days, and I suppose, how did you get started playing at all?
Yeah, so my father played in the Monmouthshire Royal Engineers Band, which would be about, 6 miles from here, and then played in the local village band, the Bream Silver Band. And in doing so, he was in the band, but he was also a footballer and enjoyed rugby, and he enjoyed cricket. So he used to get me along to various sporty things that took place in the area, whether it be judo, whether it be boxing, rugby. So I tried out all these things, and I wasn't particularly coordinated, I think, is the best thing to describe me, really. Wasn't keen on sport when I was at school. I'm a lot more keen on it now, but when I was at school, I wasn't a keen sports person, and very awkward. And so music seemed to be the one thing that my father wasn't able to beat me at. So I thought, do you know what? I might keep this going. I don't think I particularly enjoyed it when I started, age 10, but as I sort of got to 14, I really started to get into it, and then I sort of had to make decisions in terms of, well, what things are going to stay and what things are going. For instance, do I carry on with sport? Do I carry on with the rugby club? Do I do I was in the sort of air training corps and things like that. And I decided to actually stick to the trombone, and so took that up then when I moved to a championship section band, and carried that on. And my degree was economics, but I actually went up to Salford so that I could have some exposure to the band course there. So it was always sort of in my mind that I might try and do something with music, but also try and get a proper job working in a bank is what I was going to do. But having then had some work experience in a bank, I decided that was anything but what I wanted to do.
So why the trombone? Right.
But because my father played, there wasn't any discussion on any other instrument. He said, well, he played trombone. He was familiar with it. A lot of people don't understand the trombone, even though it's not really that difficult to understand. So that was the thing. And from that point on, I started listening to other local players, and then people that come into the area. And Limburg was one of the first CDs I managed to get my hands on. I think it was probably a tape rather than a CD in those days. And so the more I listened to soloistic players, that's an area that I sort of got into. And so I enjoyed the social side of the banding stuff, but also enjoyed listening to solo trombone players, and sort of tried to do as much of that as I could.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Well, you were talking before. I didn't realise, because I know you conducted Buckley for a while, didn't you?
That's right, yeah.
Because me and Doug are playing for Buckley at the moment, and my wife is the principal cornet player for Buckley as well. And I didn't realise you actually lived in Cheshire then. So I didn't realise you were so close. Because we're only over the border, really.
That's right. So I lived in Barnton, which is sort of for 16 years. That's north of Norwich. And then for the last 4 maybe even 5 years, I lived in Runcorn, which is really close to the motorway, and then close to getting into North Wales and that area. And I taught for a number of years in Chester as a school teacher. So I've always been based in that, whether it be the sort of Runcorn, Northwich area. Yeah.
And as well as that, Brett, I think me and Steve would have seen you a few times in Northop's band room. I know
Exactly.
you were involved with them for a while, and
Right.
We were talking earlier about that when you organised that joint thing that we did with the Rill Band and with Hollywood.
and Northop, and
Out on, near the church, out on a football field.
Yes,
I think it was.
with fireworks and all sorts going on, wasn't there? Yeah.
The Glory of Wales.
Yes, that was the one.
that was
yes,
the one.
Yes.
Yeah, it was all projected onto the walls of the big school now, wasn't it? And it went really well with you conducting there, Brett. It was fantastic. Yeah.
It was a big project because we had to find music that was going to be accessible to the audience, but also the bands to all be able to play. And so we did go through a lot of repertoire to find pieces that would work. But it all came together really well. And I sort of thought about that the other day and thought, why does that sort of thing not happen anymore and not very often?
I think it's, well, as you said, it's the amount of work, isn't it, to be honest? I think people cherry pick the easier jobs or, easier links for things. The amount of work you must have put in to pull that off. To make an evening's music out of it was fantastic.
Yeah, it was. It was a really good event, and I mean, you never know how these things are going to go, but it all seemed to come together, and everybody pulled together, it was a great success.
Yes. So I suppose another one was, I suppose we're looking for great things that have happened and maybe things that have gone wrong, and we always have a laugh about all the things we've messed up over the years. So I was just wondering, with having played with so many bands, conducted so many and things, I suppose your best banding moment. I know you've probably got a list, but if there's one that was, one that sticks out, or maybe it's still to come.
Yeah, well, who knows? It's really hard to think about what the best moments are, because I think you can always say, oh well, that was great winning a contest, and yes, it is good winning a contest, but you never know whether you're going to win a contest or not. You can't be on stage thinking, oh, that's won, or that. You just don't know. Really. You play your best, and then you come off, and then you go and see everybody, and you find out how they've all been, and you socialise, and that's what contesting is all about. So you never really know. It's I mean, there's been some great performances I've been involved in, whether it be at the Europeans or whether it be at the Nationals or the Open. But I think the things that probably stick in my mind as being best band moments would be going to places like Bermuda, because that's a place I wouldn't have ever gone to. So the band went out there. I think the band went twice or three times. I think they went 3 times, but I went to Bermuda twice with Black Dyke, and that was just an amazing event. It was sponsored by Bacardi, because they got their headquarters there, and though they didn't make anything out, got their headquarters in Bermuda. They had a big music festival there with lots of different types of music, and that was really good fun. We did some workshops, and then Japan sticks in my mind as well. We've been out there a couple of times.
I'd love to go there.
In festivals there, and they're so appreciative of you going out there. And the 2 most popular things from Britain and Japan are darts and brass bands. Would you believe?
Wow.
Really?
There you go.
Yeah,
I didn't realise they had such a following in Japan. Actually, saying that, Brett, we've actually got a follower who is in Japan who actually downloads our podcasts. So. On the list, we're quite varied all over the place, But I did notice the other day. You just reminded me of Japan. I went, oh, Japan.
Yeah.
So I mean, you've had such a varied career, haven't you? And quite an exciting one by some of the stuff you've done throughout the years.
Well, I do get bored very quickly. That's certainly the case, and so I do try and keep myself busy and try and do a lot of different things. And I guess I'm guilty of saying yes too much. So if somebody comes up with an idea or suggestion, then I'll tend to try and do it. I tend to want to try new things and try things out. So it's certainly playing in Black Dyke. There's never been a dull moment. They were pretty much a band that would have something on every week. Even if it wasn't a concert, then there'd be a workshop, or there'd be a Yorkshire Youth Band weekend, or there'd be something going on. So I don't think I really ever got a weekend off in the sort of 20 odd years that I was there, plus then doing everything else. So whether that was conducting a band or teaching, because I do quite a bit of teaching, and I really enjoy that aspect of what I do as well, is sort of giving something back and teaching others. So I've been, in fact, I was teaching somebody online just before this, actually. So that's always something that I enjoy doing, and I'm quite fortunate in that I'd set up a couple of quartets when I was living up in Cheshire, and a lot of the players that were in those original quartets have then gone on and they're playing in some of the championship section bands. In fact, all of them, the different quartets that I've had. So that's been something that I'm really proud of, and it's sort of over and above what I do in terms of conducting and playing, but it's actually been a really important part of music making.
Yeah, sounds really rewarding, things like that, doesn't it? That, you know, you got a bit of a legacy, and you know, you see the development of people. I know I was involved quite a bit with the you know, in Northup in the past with the youth players and players starting off, and seeing some of those develop years later, and you think, whoa, yeah, I played a small part in what they've done. They've done all the hard work, but you know, maybe, you know, it does make you feel proud, doesn't it? And as I say, a bit of a legacy of what you've done. So yeah, really good.
That's right. Well, even Tom Challoner comes to mind there. So he's now in the RAF Central Band, and of course, I would have known him in the youth band when I was conducting Northup as a snotty-nosed teenager.
Yes, he certainly was. Yes.
So it's really good to see, and he's still, you know, just as keen and just as interested in music and enjoying what he does. But I remember that, and he reminded me of that because I didn't make the connection until he'd said to me, "Oh, you don't remember me at second trombone in the youth band at Northup?" And then it sort of all clicked.
Yeah, and he's another one where he's. I've been trying to get hold of him to do an interview with us, but he keeps making excuses. So I'm gonna have to. If you ever speak to him, tell him he needs to do it. Yeah.
So I think now that Brett's come on, though, that'll give him a push in the right direction, because
certainly
you know.
should. Yes.
Is that something you want to focus on then, Brett? Doing lessons? I know you said you've always done them, but now you've got your studio down in where you are now in Gloucestershire. You said, didn't you? So
yeah, Gloucestershire. Yeah, it is something that I'm going to increasingly work on, I think, and I was expecting to do a little bit less in terms of running around the country playing in concerts, because it was so full on when I was at Black Dyke. So I thought, well, I'll have a bit more time. I can do a bit more teaching, and certainly I've done a little bit of Facebook advertising down here, and I've already got, I think it's 6 students now that I'm teaching down here. Some of them have moved from other instruments to trombone. Some of them have been playing quite a while and just want to get better. So that's working out really well. And because I've got all the facilities here, and I've got, you know, my the amount of music I've got here is well, I can't think that anybody is stupid enough to have as much music as I've got here. And I know everybody goes digital these days, but I've got a lot of digital stuff, but I've also got it in paper form as well. And so there's pretty much everything here. So if somebody says to me, I want to do grade 7, what pieces should I look at? They're all here. So I can just go through and check that out. So yeah, it's I mean, it's an opportunity for me to come back home, and which is great, but also then try and consolidate everything down here. So yeah, the plan is to do a little bit more teaching, actually. Yeah.
So how would they get in touch with it? On your Facebook page? You've got a Facebook page, you said?
Yeah, they could do it via Facebook. They can go on the website, which is just brettbaker.co.uk, and they can send me an email for that. So that isn't a problem. They can do it either of those ways. That's fine.
Well, Doug's writing it down here. I think he'd be getting in touch with you.
I think we need to send Doug down for an afternoon with you, really.
Yeah. Well, it'd be fantastic, wouldn't it?
That's the other thing is that, so I've got a cabin down here, which is the other side of the village, and people can actually stay down for a weekend. They can go for some walks. They can go and it's much more touristy down here than I remember when I was growing up as Forest of Dean, and they've got lots more cafes and trails and things like that to do, lots of tourist attractions, and so people can come down here, do that, and have a weekend of lessons if that's what they want to do. So it's as well as having a teaching room here, and then a spare room in the house, and then having the cabin, which has got it's possible to stay overnight there as well, and it's that's what I'm looking at actually, is to try and build some of that up where people can come and have a retreat for a weekend and have some lessons, a sort of trombone boot camp type
What a
thing.
wonderful idea.
Yeah, it does sound absolutely fantastic, that.
Well, if you ever want us to push it for you, Brett, just drop us a line, or drop Steve a line, and we can, promote it and see if you can get
Fabulous. Yeah, it's early days yet, so I'm still
absolutely.
trying to get it all out.
So
I'm sure I'll get them.
So you're playing now. You're with Corey's now, aren't you? Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Joined Corey back in December last year, and that wasn't on the cards at all because I was quite happy that I'd be conducting Elland and Polton up in Blackpool. That was the plan, and I was going to do that for a few more years, and then the chance came up because the tenancy was ending with the house that I bought down here a few years ago, and we thought about it because I worked for Dennis Wick, of course, and their factory is in Poole, which is in Dorset, and so that would take me 5 hours to drive down there. And so I'd often leave at 5 in the morning, get down there at 10, do a day's work, and then sort of leave about 3 and get back quite late. And I thought, well, if I was living down in Gloucestershire, that would halve the journey. But I thought, well, there's not really a lot down there for me in terms of banding wise. And then as I was saying that, the opportunity came up where Phil Harper got in touch and said, you said you're going to be moving down in a couple of years. Can you bring that forward at all? And so I had to think about it. And then an opportunity came to conduct as well. So that band that I used to play for, Librook. So it meant that I started to look at these areas and think, why don't I see if this could work? And sold the house in it was really breakneck speed. I thought it was going to take about 5 months to sell the house, and we'd sold it within, I think it was about 7 weeks.
Wow.
That is quick.
Very, very quickly. So I ended up moving down here much quicker than I thought.
Oh, well, it sort of forced your hand a little bit, but it's all working well at the minute, sounds like. Yeah.
I would imagine it's a different challenge as well after Black Dyke, I would imagine.
Being so busy.
Well, that's a good thing. In that, it's good to have a change and do some different things and do different concerts in a different area, meet some different people. So, that's. It doesn't matter how good you are and how good the concerts are. After 20 odd years, you're bound to get phased by it. You want to do something else. So, rather than it ever gets stale. I mean, funnily enough, I left Black Dyke in 2014, so I did 14 years, and then I had 18 months off, and then I ended up stupidly going back and doing another 7. And so I spent a lot of time there, and don't regret it. It was a good thing to do. But I thought it was time to do some other things. I think it's healthy to challenge yourself in different ways rather than just doing the same thing over and over again. So that's what I set out to do, and that's why I'm thoroughly enjoying the playing, teaching, and conducting at the moment.
Yeah. So you've got all that, plus you've got your Dennis Wick, plus Rath as well. Rath trombones.
That's it. Doing things for them, and then being chair of ABBA as well. So that's. That it doesn't take up a lot of your time, but it's still a thing that involves time, and so I'm always very happy to a lot of people put time and effort into me, so I'm always happy to try and give back wherever I can and help people wherever I can.
Well, Doug was asking before. He said, "Brett's involved with ABBA." I didn't realise he liked ABBA.
Yeah. I had to explain who ABBA was to this too. Yeah. Don't go there. I tell you.
No.
The things I have to do with these guys.
I don't know.
Terrible it is. So yes, it's it's really lovely to talk to you again and catch up and with everything you're doing. It was just with your home studio and your new CD coming out and everything. I just really wanted to grab the chance to have a chat with you and really catch up on what's going on. And as you've eloquently put, really everything of what's going on at the minute. And then, as I say, if we can share anything of what you're up to or anything that's coming up, it's a vehicle, isn't it? Our podcasts and our website and our Facebook page. It's another thing to hopefully help.
That's brilliant, yeah. And I mean, it's great that this is a medium that bands people are now using, because I think it does open up different avenues, and you don't get this sort of opportunity to have these sort of chats in any other way, really, do you? It's not the same as doing a workshop or just doing an interview that's written down in a magazine. I think this is a far more real scenario when you do these sort of things, and yes. That's a good thing, isn't it? So isn't it great that technology allows you to do this sort of stuff?
Indeed.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, you'd laugh if you knew how we started, Brett, because we went for a curry, the three of us, and we just started talking, and Steve said, wouldn't it be nice if we started talking about, we've been in banding for over 60 years, all of us, wouldn't it be nice if we just started talking about that? And that's how it started. And the initial plan was North Wales, but we want to expand it more. We Buckley did the Whit Friday marches just gone, and I was out interviewing people and getting people on it just to try and expand it more. And it's great that you've come on, because and if you know anyone else, well, you do know probably a lot of people who just want to come on and talk about banding, that's what we want to do,
Yeah. Oh well, I mean, as I say, it's a different medium. It's something that some people still don't understand. Yeah. I'm afraid. But, I mean, it is fairly straightforward. It's just like having a chat, isn't it, over the phone?
Yeah.
I think when you explain that to people, they're probably quite au fait with it. But no, I'm sure there's loads of people that I'm aware of that would be more than happy to do this sort of thing. So I'll have to mention it to them, and then I'm sure that'll tee it all up.
Great. Yeah, fantastic.
We've got a lot of support from you and Fox on 4 Bars Rest. I bumped into him in our area last year and just mentioned it. He said, "Oh, that's great. Just drop me a line when you're doing it." So he's been great by publicising it every time we do it. We try and do one every 2 weeks, but you can imagine it's quite difficult trying to get people in and stuff.
It is, and it's getting done to all line up and all that sort of thing as well, because that's not easy, and that's the nature of banding, isn't it? Because you've got all the different bands all doing different rehearsal nights, so trying to bring anything together from that point of view is always a challenge. And you could say, oh well, yeah, but most bands rehearse on a Monday, Thursday. It's like, well, that's not my experience, actually. That's not the case these days.
No, it's not. We're Wednesday, Sunday, aren't we, Doug?
We are. Yeah.
Well, I don't think that's changed. I think you must have done that when you conducted them Wednesday, Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why that worked brilliantly, because Dyke's always been on a Monday, Thursday, and then actually having no potential for any clashes has always been important. And so no, but then there's others that will do Tuesday, Friday. As well, and so you can, if you wanted to, you can be out every night of the week, can't you?
Yes, yeah, especially like you, if you say yes all the time. You've got to say no.
So the reason I couldn't do Tuesday, for instance, is that I mean, you couldn't make this up, but this is how things work. Is that I was over in the States in March, so I didn't play at the area for Corey, and then they didn't qualify, and Ebbw Valley ended up qualifying and getting second place, and then they're playing at London this weekend, so they needed a second trombone player for the Tuesday rehearsal that they're doing, which was the open rehearsal before they then compete on the weekend. And they couldn't find anybody, and they said, well, Brett, you've played the piece, would you mind doing this? Because I've had their conductor, who's a very fine euphonium player, helping out Lidbrook, the band I conduct for a couple of times over the... So I could hardly say no, that I couldn't do that, since he's helped me out so often. So it was a situation where I said, yeah, of course I can help you out. You've been helping me out. So that's why I ended up doing the Tuesday open rehearsal with them, and had this on the Friday. So ironically, that's stopped Corey going to London, but I suppose that I should be grateful of a weekend off.
You don't get many of them, do you? And I believe it's going back to 4 again, isn't it, for the pre-qualified again? I think they've instead of 3, they've gone back to 4. So.
It's funny you mentioned that, Brett, because Steve mentioned to us before. He said, Don't mention the files to Brett.
Well, you wouldn't believe the number of people that I've had a phone call with or whatever, and then they've said, "Oh, I'll see you on the weekend at London," and I'm like, "No, you won't."
No, you won't.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean? You'll be there? And I'm like, "No, the band didn't qualify." And then all of them go, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Yeah.
It's almost like they're saying it as if I'd had a death in the family.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm really sorry. It's like, well,
It's just one of those, isn't it? Yeah.
Banders, we're funny breed, aren't we?
Yeah.
Really, when it comes to that. But yeah, it's been great to talk to you, and we really appreciate the time you've given to us. And genuinely, if we can help you along the way with promoting your lessons or anything, really, just drop us a line, or we can
That's brilliant.
always ring
Really
up
good.
again.
Well, thanks for the opportunity and letting people know what I've sort of been up to over the last couple of years since. I don't think I've gone quiet, but you never know, do you? And things are always changing, and change is always a good thing. So no, thank you very much, and I'll certainly do that once I get things up together. I'll be pushing some promotional material your way.
Great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And anyone else who wants to come on, and we'll talk to. Well, anything to do with banding, we want to promote it. I think
You
Doug's
said you'll talk to anybody.
talk to anyone. Yeah, I didn't want to fall down that trap. But yeah, I think Doug's got a question that he's dying to ask you. We said, don't ask him. So go on, Doug.
Oh, all it was, Brett. I mean, you're such a good player, but have you ever found that playing trombone, your tonguing has gone a bit sluggish at any time?
Are you struggling, Douglas?
No, it's only every once in a while, really, that it does happen, and you think, well, why is it not happening in this rehearsal? And then the next rehearsal, it's back to normal again. Have you ever discovered that with your own playing, Brett, or is it always?
I was, let's say, a late developer, so I couldn't triple or double tongue for a long time, and I think I must have been probably 15, 16 before I could get anywhere near double or triple tonguing. And so as a result of that, my single tongue had to be really quick because I could never double or triple tongue. So then when I actually managed to find a way to double tongue and triple tongue, it meant that I'd got a very fast single tongue and then a very fast triple and double tongue. So that's always helped me. And what I tend to find is trombone players I find just aren't very good at tonguing, right? It's just one of these things they don't do very well. But then I say to people, well, so what do you warm up with? And then I say, well, I'll do long notes and I'll do a hymn or something like that. So I always say to people, well, if you actually warm up by doing some tonguing exercises, where it doesn't have to be a scale either. I mean, it can be a scale, but it could just be some sort of exercise, or it could be some sort of tune. It could be anything, but actually doing tonguing exercises when you're warming up actually then helps you then when you're ready to play and playing for real, as I call it. And then I find by not moving the tongue that far, so rather than really trying to force the tongue and make lots of effort to tongue, actually do the opposite, get the tongue to work less hard, then normally you don't get tongue-tied and you don't get problems in that area where then the tongue's not working properly and it gets all sort of soggy and out of control. So I would say less is more in that instance, and it's something to try. And
yeah, that's great advice, that, Brett. Thank you very much.
So where does he have to send the check to? He's having a free lesson there. Cheeky. Yeah.
No, that's absolutely fantastic. That brilliant.
Well, like I said, we do appreciate you coming on and spending the time with us. It's really good.
Yeah, thanks, Brett.
Thank you very much. Well, good luck with the podcast, and I'll catch up with you guys soon.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Brett.
Thank you.
Good to speak to you.
Bye now. Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was great, guys, wasn't it?
I thought it went fantastically.
Yeah, a great catch up with Brett. I've been had time with him in Northup, and it was a good catch up generally, and great to hear what he's up to now.
Yeah, it was nice, and Doug got his question in.
He did indeed.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
And a good answer. Well, a big thank you again, and that's it for now, guys. So it's a bye from me.
Goodbye from Doug.
And a bye from Steve.